Welcome back subscribers and hello YouTube viewers. On this occasion we're off to a town called Buangor. So Buangor is a small rural town and locality in Western Victoria, Australia, located about 181 kilometres or 112 miles west of Melbourne. It is situated near Mount Buangor State Park and is known for its natural surroundings, including nearby mountains and a creek. The town has a long-standing primary school and is the gateway to regional attractions like Mount Buangor and Langi Ghiran State Park. The Buangor district's first pastoral settlement occurred with the Mount Cole Run, taken up in 1840 by Alexander and Colin Campbell. In 1849, the run was divided between the brothers, Colin Campbell's part being named Buangor, and it was thought that the name was derived from an Aboriginal word which referred to granite mountain or pointed hill. Mount Buangor is 8 kilometres north of the Western Highway and is predominantly granite. The Buangor township was surveyed in 1861 and Max Hotel was built during 1862-63. At about the same time, or as early as 1860, a Cobb & Co stable was opened. It was a 2-storey bluestone structure of imposing dimensions and is on the Victorian Heritage Register. In 1865, a Victorian newspaper recorded Buangor as a postal village with a hotel and stables as the main amenities. A public hall was opened in 1870, a Catholic church in 1875 and a school in 1878. The railway line through Buangor was opened in 1875. Whilst the railway complemented the subdivision of large pastoral properties for farm selections, there were a considerable residue of large holdings for soldier settlements during the 1950s. Anglican and Presbyterian churches were opened in 1888 and 1901. The Buangor Post Office originally opened on the 25th of March 1863. The town has a primary school which was built in 1878 and had an enrolment of 19 students in 2024. Buangor Railway Station on the Ararat Railway line was closed in 1981. The former Buangor Stables Cobb & Co is listed with the Victorian Heritage Register and the National Trust. And once again, and as per usual, all the credits and references to the voiceover will be in the description below. And just bear in mind that sometimes when I'm walking around, I might be telling you incorrect things, but anything that's voiceover has been researched, so please enjoy.
So we have arrived at Buangor. Now I think that's how you pronounce it. I went to the Beaufort Cafe, spoke to one of the ladies behind the counter, and she was a local, and she said the town that you're about to hit is called Buangor. So we'll stick with that. The first thing we're going to have a look at is the railway station. Now it is abandoned. It's no longer in use. It has been decommissioned, but she still stands and she's still here. So we'll have a bit of a look. Not a bad ride out. Today is a weekday and it's not a public holiday, and the trip from Melbourne up to this location on the motorbike was quite pleasant. A few clouds, but nothing to ride home about. A little bit chilly in the sort of the hilly areas, and then once the sun broke through, it was quite warm. So enough of me babbling on, and I'll show you this sort of homely looking railway station sitting here all on its own. Now I'm not 100% sure if this railway line is still in use, but I believe it is. It's probably definitely for freight. Whether or not this is the same line that you use to go to Adelaide to, I have no idea, but I am aware this is the line that will take you to Ararat, which is behind us. And I'll just sort of point that way to give you an idea where I'm going. So down that way is towards Ararat, I believe. Or maybe we're not even at Ararat yet. I'm not 100% sure. This is one of the problems when you take the least travelled road. So I really do try to avoid any highways and freeways, and especially tollways. So I'm not 100% sure where I am. But I have come through Beaufort. So now I'm here. So this is the railway station, and she's a beauty. She's still standing. All the windows have obviously been smashed out for whatever reason, but she's still here. She's got some trees that sort of give her some protection and a bit of shade. And as you can see, the railway line is quite new. It's got the concrete sleepers, not the wooden ones. And once again, I'm no expert in anything to do with the railway infrastructure. But my logic would be that because the tracks are shiny, this is being used on a relatively regular basis. So we'll just come up here and have a closer look at this railway station. It's all been boarded up. Not really any graffiti around here. It is a sort of homely, sort of quiet little town. A lot of farming, I'd imagine, is the main revenue for the town. I did notice as we came through that the post office and also the general store, which was all in one, is no longer in play. It's just no longer, doesn't have a post office or a general store anymore. It's privately owned. So that's, we're assuming just there is where you would sort of buy your tickets, and they've put up a piece of board there because the glass is all missing. It sort of protects the building the best it can. So we'll just go around. Yeah, so that was where you'd buy your tickets. So I'm sure there'll be people out there who once lived in the area or came to visit someone in the area and purchased your ticket from there, which is just great. So you sort of see it has been updated at some stage. I'm not 100% sure when this place closed. I'm going to guess and say in the 1980s, only because I have done some research, and I'm not sure if I've mentioned it, but I do sort of research on quite a number of towns all in one shot, and then I just get a little folder made up. I stick it on the desktop of my computer, and when I get a bit bored, I add things to it, including any videos if I'm going past that place, and then once I believe I've got enough, I'll put a video for YouTube all together. And I'm pretty sure, not 100% sure though, it was in the 80s when this station actually shut down. So you've got the old concrete or cement water tank to collect the water. She is a beauty. Had a fireplace, Just wondering if whether or not the station master was actually resided there or lived in town, but I just don't know. So we have been able to make our way in. We didn't break into anything, didn't force anything, and as you can see, it's pretty dark in here. The floorboards are all very, very soft. Not sure if that's coming through at all, but it is. The floorboards are very, very soft. Quite spooky. And this is the main waiting area, which you can see nothing of. There's just a little gap there. Not sure if that's coming through. You would have. This would have been sort of like a waiting room, I guess. I don't believe this would have been a place for the. Oh yeah, who knows? Whether or not the station master lived here or not, I have no idea. Your guess will be as good as mine. It does have a fireplace. Not sure if that's coming into focus. It is quite dark in here, even though you can see things. There is a toilet. Yeah, there used to be a toilet anyway, but not anymore. And this is where the tickets would be dispersed. Very good. All right. That's the railway station. So there's your CFA, or the Country Fire Authority building. They would have a fire truck in there of sorts. And you can see in the distance how fertile the soil is. It's so green around here. And just over here to the right side of your screen, that used to be the old post office and general store. Now it's in private hands. But it is a very sleepy hollow, this place. Okay, we'll move on closer to the main hub of the town, where we'll find the hotel and that Cobb and Co stables, which I'm curious to see. Stop in the sporting field. So here we have the Cobb and Co changing station, and I think that's just basically where if you're making your way to Melbourne or Ararat, you'd change over your horses so they can be refreshed. You get a new set of horses to take on the passengers to where they had to go. There is a little plaque here. We'll have a look at that. And once again, I'll keep it steady. Those who want to press pause and read it, by all means do so. But it basically says, as the Ararat goldfields developed during the 1850s, Buangor became an important changing station on the coaching route to Melbourne. Coaches provided the main service for passengers and mail until the arrival of the railway in 1875. So 1875 is when that, more than likely, is when that station was either built or came into play. So I'm assuming that little pulley sort of wheel there was to pull up hay for storage in the loft for the horses. And as you can see, there's been a fair bit of development around here. Not sure what this actually is used for at all. No idea. Maybe there'll be a plaque somewhere to inform us. Maybe it's used as a town hall, a meeting centre. I was going to say it could be a childcare centre, but I don't think you'd get enough people here to keep the numbers up. The town doesn't seem that big. It's a grand building. I'm not sure if it's privately owned or maybe the council's taken over it. The Shire of Ararat. I'm not sure. Okay. So here we go. This will give us a little bit more information. Isn't there always a bit of information? So this is actually a hall you can actually hire. Once again, I'll bring it relatively close. There's a website that you can hire it. So I guess if you wanted to have a country wedding or something, I don't know. What would be the use for hiring it? I guess there's a sporting field here as well. No idea. There are tennis courts, there's a playground, and there's a fantastic, very modern looking clubhouse. Now when I say modern looking, it's in the old sort of bluestone finish, but it sort of looks very similar to this thing. I'll show you when we get there. There's the good thing about a lot of the country towns, which I think is just fantastic, they're taking or making full use of CCTV cameras. These cameras can be hooked up to your mobile phone, and someone doesn't have to actually stand here all day to keep an eye on it, and you can pretty much get onto the phone anywhere in the world really and log in, and you could have sensors, so if anyone's coming around that's doing something that's inappropriate, the person can contact police for intervention. I do like where they put these big sort of posts with a little bit more modern looking rings to tie your horse to. Whether or not you can bring your horse here, I don't know, but I do like that. That's not a bad little touch. I guess you can sort of lock your bike up if there's a sporting event on, you're playing for the local team, and you've arrived here by bike. There is a sign, unfortunately, I can see it from here, saying no horses on the oval. I'm pretty sure you probably can't even bring horses in here. So there you have it, not too bad. Obviously there's gas in that stables or changing station, is that what they're calling it? Yes, there's no horses on the oval, so you can actually bring it here, but just don't put it on the oval. There is a community notice board just there. Anything exciting happening in this town? Nothing. Just tells you a bit more information about hiring the hall if you want to hire the hall for a wedding, a function. Very good. All right, and we're just going to go across over there to where the old pub used to be, or the hotel. Once again, press pause if you would like to read this, but this is the Avenue of Honour. Gives you a bit more information about it, and it's the trees as part of the landscape to honour those that served in the First World War. So as you can see, it's those trees just down there, and maybe a few more here just on the left. Most towns had them, and they do maintain them, and it's just great. So here's the hotel. We would have seen earlier photos of this when it was actually open and running. I think there was a Carlton United round spinning dome looking thing on the roof line, which is now gone. But the signs that are hanging from the guttering, so to speak, they're still there. So this is obviously a private home now. It would be hard, I'd imagine, to maintain a property like this with a small population. So there is a bus stop further ahead. We are part of the Ararat rural city, or the city of rural Ararat, however it's pronounced. And we'll have a look at where this bus takes you. So I'm assuming because there's no longer a train service, they've introduced this V-Line bus service to replace it. So it does go to Ararat, Ballarat, Horsham, Nil. It goes to a few places. Dimboola. So once again, if you're looking for a country change, the internet should be okay here. I think I haven't been really to any small towns in rural Victoria where I could not get the internet to work. And the only reason I'm saying that is I needed to work for the drone and also for my navigation when I take all the side streets and side roads. I'm not sure if you necessarily have to have good internet connection, but it works for those two items that I use to get around to these locations. Now this thing, I don't know what this is. Is it a house? I don't think so. Was it once a service station where you'd get your fuel? Could very well be. I can see it says wine and art gallery on that sign, but it's faded so bad I can just make out that's what it says. Oh, we got the dog doing its thing. And that's really about it. It's a very lonely road, this one. Not much traffic on it at all. So yeah, so straight in the middle of your screen, I'll try to zoom in a little bit, is that the clubhouse. And we'll go have a look at that. Now this might bring some memories to those who used to play cricket. Now, some of the people who don't play cricket or aren't ever been trained to practice in cricket mightn't really recognise this thing at all. But basically, if you're in the slips, they'd be practicing by throwing balls. This would be on its legs, not up on its side, and you'd practice your slips catching. I recall that from my youth. It's amazing how things really don't change much. So obviously, they've got a cricket team here. This is their batting area for practice. It's quite a pleasant area. Everything's relatively new or not so old. The picnic tables are terrific. The bins they've got for the public to use are great. You've got the tennis courts there in the middle of your screen there, and like a little area where you can wait your turn before you can go on to the court to play. And then you've got, well, I'm just going to call it a clubhouse because I don't know what else it is. Once again, I can only assume that this can be rented out as well. So if they do have a cricket team, a tennis team, a football team, this could double up for everything. Absolutely terrific. I like the barbecue. Hey, that's fantastic. That's a monster of a thing. Cook a feast in there. Yeah, look at that. That's what you call a proper barbecue. Old school. With a modern touch. That's very, very good. We've got the regular barbecue places there. Can't see it, I don't think. Oh yeah, they've got a proper bar in there. I don't know if that comes through. I'll try to shade it. But that's terrific. Once again, everything around here is just, it's got security, there's CCTV, so anyone with stupid intentions, don't come here because you're going to get caught. That's just great. So there's your kids' playground. Now there is a bit of a worry. I don't know if anyone was as observant as me, but it's just the way I am. That door right there is open, and I don't see anyone there. So I'm going to open it and yell out. If an alarm goes off, it goes off. And if it doesn't go off, I'm going to slam it shut. And we'll ask, hello? Anyone in? But what a bar. Jack's Corner. Jack, someone's left your door open. All right. So I'm going to slam this shut. So I think it might have been an oversight by someone, but that's okay. And there you have it. All right. So that's pretty much it of this town. We've seen what we've seen. Obviously back in its heyday, it would have been quite busy with the stables in action, the railway station in action. I understand I was able to find one football team from the 1900, which is amazing. So it's one of those towns, I guess, during the gold rush period, it was very, very busy. And once that period sort of ended, it unfortunately sort of died a very slow death. But it looks like now it's getting a second life, a second chance. There's a lot more new buildings here. I can see new homes being built. They've done up the stables. The building right there in front of us, that's like a clubhouse of sorts. That was built in 1986. From what the plaque tells us, and it's slowly growing. So that's pretty much it for the township of Buangor. Once again, I hope I pronounced that correctly. If you did like the video, by all means click on the like button or the thumbs up icon. Please just consider subscribing. Subscribing doesn't cost you 1 cent, and it really does help the channel immensely. But most importantly, stay safe, commute safe, and have a great day. And thank you for your time for watching.